respected teachers, honorable guests, and my dear friends. Today I want to share my thoughts on a profound principle that shapes our lives and guides our actions. The law of karma. The word karma comes from the Sanskrit root meaning action. In its essence, karma is not just about what we do, but also about what we think, speak, and intend. It teaches us that every action has consequences, and the energy we put into the world eventually returns to us, whether in this life or beyond. When we hear the word karma, many of us instantly think of physical actions, such as helping someone, working hard, or even doing harm. But the true meaning of karma is much broader. It comes from the Sanskrit root kri, which literally means to act or to do. This indicates that karma is not confined to just what we physically perform. It encompasses every aspect of our being, what we say, what we think, and even what we intend in our hearts. Every single one of these elements accuracy, mental intelligence is a superpower, visible or invisible, to function with adaptability. Every single one of these elements, our words, for instance, are powerful forms of karma. A kind word can inspire, heal, or uplift someone, while a harsh or careless word can wound deeply and create long-lasting negativity. In the same way, thoughts are also actions in the realm of the mind. Negative thoughts such as jealousy, hatred, or greed generate harmful energy, while positive thoughts like compassion, gratitude, and love spread peace not only within ourselves but also around us. The mind is the seedbed of karma, and whatever grows in our thoughts eventually manifests in our actions and speech. Intentions play an equally important role in karma. An action may appear good on the outside, but if the intention behind it is selfish or dishonest, it creates negative karma. Conversely, a small act done with genuine care and pure intentions generates immense positive energy. For example, giving charity just for fame does not carry the same weight as giving selflessly to support those in need. Thus, karma emphasizes that purity of intention is just as important as the act itself. By understanding karma as action in its totality, we begin to realize that every moment of our lives contributes to shaping our destiny. We are constantly creating karma not only when we act outwardly, but also when we think silently or speak casually. This awareness reminds us to be mindful of the thoughts we cultivate, the words we choose, and the intentions that drive us. Living consciously in this way makes us more careful, compassionate, and wise in how we interact with the world. The law of karma operates on the principle that every action produces a reaction. Just as a seed once sown in the soil grows into a plant that bears fruit of its own kind, our actions, whether good or bad, create results that we must eventually experience. This comparison to seeds helps us understand that our deeds do not vanish into thin air. Instead, they remain in the fabric of life, waiting for the right time to manifest their effects. A seed planted today may take time to sprout, but when the conditions are right, it will inevitably bear its fruit. Likewise, karma does not always show its result immediately, but unfolds at the right moment. Sometimes people wonder why they face difficulties, even when they have done nothing wrong in the present. The law of karma teaches us that consequences may arise from past actions, just as seeds planted long ago can still bear fruit in the present. Similarly, our good deeds may not bring immediate results, but they accumulate and return to us when the time is ripe. This encourages us to trust the process of life and not lose hope if our kindness or hard work is not rewarded instantly. Karma works silently but effectively, shaping our experiences through the invisible connection between action and consequence. It is important to remember that consequences are not punishments but natural outcomes. If we plant a mango seed, we will get mangoes, not apples. In the same way, a kind action leads to happiness and goodwill, while a harmful action brings pain and negativity. This simple truth keeps us mindful of the quality of actions we choose. Instead of blaming others or destiny for our situation, we can understand that much of what we face is the result of what we ourselves have sown. This realization empowers us to take responsibility for our choices. By recognizing that every action has consequences, we learn the value of conscious living. Our daily choices, no matter how small, carry the potential to shape our future. A smile to a stranger, a word of encouragement, or a helping hand may seem insignificant, but these positive seeds eventually blossom into joy, peace, and goodwill. At the same time, careless words, harmful actions, or selfish behaviors can create negative cycles that return to us in unexpected ways. Understanding this principle inspires us to sow good seeds consistently, knowing that they will one day bear fruits of happiness and success. Many people mistakenly believe that karma works like a system of divine punishment or reward, where an external power judges us and delivers results accordingly. In truth, karma is far more neutral and scientific. It functions as a natural law, much like gravity, or cause and effect. When we throw a stone into the air, it comes down because of gravity, not because someone decided to punish us. Similarly, when we perform actions, they return to us as experiences, not as judgments, but as natural outcomes of what we chose to do. This perspective removes the element of fear and teaches us responsibility instead. Karma is not about pleasing or displeasing a higher power. It is about understanding that the universe responds directly to the energy we send out. If we spread kindness, honesty, and compassion, those vibrations create harmony around us, which eventually circles back to enrich our lives. On the other hand, if we spread hatred, deceit, or cruelty, that negativity grows and inevitably finds its way back to us. It is not a punishment from outside, but the echo of our own actions returning. This makes the law of karma impartial and fair, applying equally to every individual, regardless of who they are. What makes this principle powerful is the realization that we are not helpless in life. Often, people feel victimized by their circumstances and believe they have no control. This understanding replaces fear with empowerment, reminding us that our happiness, peace, and growth depend on how we live today. By removing the idea of punishment and reward, karma shifts our mindset from fear to awareness. We begin to act with responsibility, not because we are scared of consequences, but because we genuinely understand the ripple effect of our choices. This helps us cultivate inner discipline and integrity, as we realize that what we give to the world is exactly what we will receive back. Karma therefore becomes not a threat, a highlight daily life that you only accept it and accordingly see what the nature of reality is. A high true actually, but to a hydrate full and deep the law of karma teaches us that the quality of our actions determines the quality of our experiences. When we perform good deeds such as helping someone in need, speaking kindly, or acting with honesty, we generate positive energy that creates harmony, both within ourselves and in the world around us. These good actions leave us with a sense of peace and fulfillment that no material possession can provide. They become seeds of happiness that blossom into stronger relationships, self-respect, and even opportunities that we could not have predicted. In this way, good deeds act as investments in our own joy. On the other hand, negative actions inevitably lead to suffering. When someone acts with anger, greed, or dishonesty, they may feel they have gained something temporarily, but the peace of mind is lost. Such actions breed guilt, conflict, and mistrust, which in turn create pain for both the doer and those around them. Even if consequences are not immediate, the inner turmoil and the broken bonds caused by harmful behavior always circle. It is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. Eventually, the damage falls upon the one who created. The beauty of this principle lies in its clarity. No one escapes the effects of their actions, whether good or bad. People who dedicate themselves to compassion, truthfulness, and generosity often find that their lives become lighter and more joyful. They attract goodwill from others and live with a sense of contentment. In contrast, those who choose selfishness and cruelty attract negativity into their lives, leading to struggles, loneliness, and unrest. Life becomes a mirror, reflecting back to us exactly what we have given it. Understanding that good deeds bring happiness and negative actions bring suffering motivates us to be more conscious of our behavior. Instead of asking, "What will I gain immediately?" we begin to think, "What will this action create in the long run?" This awareness transforms the way we live, encouraging us to build habits of kindness, patience, and honesty. The more we align our actions with positive values, the more we cultivate peace within ourselves and spread joy around us, which eventually finds its way back into our own lives. The law of karma highlights that destiny is not something entirely fixed or written without our involvement. It is something we shape continuously through our thoughts, words, and actions. Every choice we make sends out energy that influences the course of our lives. When we choose honesty, kindness, and perseverance, we are building a path that naturally leads us toward growth and fulfillment. Conversely, when we act with dishonesty, laziness, or cruelty, we set into motion energies that block our progress and create obstacles in our future. In this way, destiny is not imposed on us but crafted by us moment by moment. Often, people think that life is controlled only by fate or luck. But karma teaches us that while certain circumstances may be beyond our control, the way we respond to them is entirely in our hands. Our responses create the energy that shapes our future experiences. For instance, facing challenges with patience and determination allows us to overcome difficulties and emerge stronger, while reacting with bitterness or despair may keep us trapped in negativity. Thus, the energy we put out into the world is like a boomerang. It eventually returns, bringing either opportunities or setbacks. Depending on the nature of what we sent out, the power of this principle lies in its ability to give us responsibility and hope at the same time. Responsibility comes from realizing that our present state is largely the result of our past choices. Hope comes from knowing that no matter how many mistakes we have made, we can start today to create a better future by choosing better actions. A single positive choice can redirect the course of life, just as a small change in direction can alter the entire journey of a ship. This awareness empowers us to live with purpose, knowing that each step contributes to the destiny we are building. By understanding that we create our destiny through the energy we release, we become more mindful of how we live daily. Simple acts like helping someone, showing gratitude, or practicing honesty may seem small, but they generate powerful vibrations that shape the path ahead. Similarly, avoiding negativity such as gossip, selfishness, or hatred helps clear the obstacles that hold us back. Life becomes a canvas, and every action a brush stroke together, painting the picture of our destiny. The quality of that picture depends entirely on the energy we choose to put into it. One of the most profound lessons of the law of karma is that it places the responsibility for our lives squarely in our own hands. Instead of blaming fate, destiny, or other people for our circumstances, karma shows us that much of what we experience is the direct result of our own actions and choices. This realization may feel heavy at first, but it is actually empowering because it gives us control over our future. We no longer see ourselves as helpless victims of life, but as active participants who can shape our journey by being mindful of what we do today. Accountability means acknowledging that our words, actions, and even thoughts carry consequences. If we hurt someone, we cannot simply dismiss it as their problem. We must accept that our behavior has created an effect that will eventually return to us. At the same time, when we spread kindness, we can take responsibility for the positivity we have contributed to the world. And karma teaches us that nothing is insignificant. Every decision, no matter how small, has weight and becomes part of the greater cycle of cause and effect. This awareness helps us act more carefully and thoughtfully. Responsibility through karma also encourages us to live with integrity. It reminds us that we cannot escape the results of our actions, no matter how well we try to hide them. Someone may deceive others temporarily, but the energy of dishonesty will eventually come back in the form of distrust or loss. In this way, karma becomes a teacher that constantly guides us toward honesty, fairness, and compassion by showing us that whatever we give will eventually return to us. By embracing accountability and responsibility, we begin to live more consciously. Instead of acting carelessly, we pause to consider the long-term effects of our choices. This makes us not only better individuals, but also more positive members of society. A person who understands karma will naturally avoid harming others, knowing that harm will ultimately circle back. They will also be more motivated to do good, knowing that goodness will eventually enrich their own life. In this way, karma transforms our mindset from blame and avoidance into responsibility and self-seriousness, shaping us into wiser, more compassionate human beings. The law of karma emphasizes that no action is ever too small to make a difference. Sometimes we believe that only grand gestures or significant sacrifices count as good deeds. But in reality, even the smallest acts of kindness have lasting effects. A smile given to someone feeling low, a word of encouragement to a friend, or a simple act of patience during a heated moment. All of these are forms of positive karma. Though they may seem insignificant in the moment, they plant seeds that eventually grow into experiences of joy, peace, and goodwill that return to us in unexpected ways. It is easy to underestimate the impact of minor actions because their results are not always immediate. Yet, just like a tiny spark can start a fire, a small good deed can set off a chain reaction of positivity. For example, helping one person may inspire them to help another, creating a ripple effect that touches many lives. Similarly, an act of kindness toward a stranger may come back to us in a completely different form at a later time. Karma works silently, ensuring that every contribution of goodness is preserved and reflected back to its source. This principle also teaches us to remain consistent in doing good, even when recognition is absent. Many times people stop being kind because they feel their efforts go unnoticed. But karma assures us that nothing is wasted. Every good action, no matter how hidden, adds to our spiritual and emotional growth. It strengthens our character, nurtures our relationships, and slowly builds a life filled with positive energy. In contrast, ignoring the small opportunities to do good may seem harmless, but it prevents us from creating the positive cycles that could have enriched our future. By valuing even the smallest acts of kindness, we learn to live with mindfulness and compassion every day. We no longer wait for big opportunities to do good. Instead, we find meaning in simple actions like speaking gently, listening with patience, or helping in small ways. Over time, these little acts accumulate and create a powerful reservoir of positive karma that supports us in times of need. The truth is, greatness is built upon small steps, and a brighter future is shaped by countless tiny moments of goodness that return to us when we least expect them. In conclusion, the law of karma is not just a spiritual idea, but a guiding principle for everyday life. It reminds us that our thoughts, words, and actions are powerful forces that shape our present and future. By understanding that every deed has consequences, we learn to live with mindfulness, responsibility, and compassion. Karma does not punish or reward. It simply reflects what we choose to give to the world. Therefore, let us strive to plant seeds of kindness, honesty, and love, knowing that they will one day return to us as peace, happiness, and fulfillment.